So this is the first video on this channel. Those of you who know me, y'all know me. But what I'm doing on this channel is bringing light to what goes on the internet so you guys can protect your children and be more aware that it is not always a safe space out here. And unfortunately, we're starting this channel off with a pretty heavy one. So I got a message from someone I'm friends with on Discord saying that one of their friends who is an underage girl was getting really gross messages from who is a 22-year-old man, and keep in mind she's like what, 14 I think, and he was asking her for images that are explicit and trying to convince her to, you know, do inappropriate things online with him. So I told him to tell that friend to message me on my bait Discord and see what I can get out of him from there, and it was a really gross conversation. My eyes are bleeding, and throughout this whole thing I was just staring at my screen like I don't even know what to say. So let's meet this guy who goes by Cursed. Cursed is a man in his 20s from South America, and he was aware that the person that he was told to message was also allegedly a 14-year-old girl. So he came into this conversation fully aware of this bait account's age, so I played along with it. So it starts off pretty straightforward. He DM'd me saying, hey, you're Cal's friend, right? Been told you wanted to blank with me. And I said, hey, yeah, she's my friend, with some cringe emoji things. And he goes straight off the board and says, do you want to see his, you know, the thing between your legs? So I'm pretending to be a young girl on this to bait him out to see what exactly I can get out of him. So I said, I don't know, I've really never done things with guys before. I've only had one boyfriend before. And he sends like some weird message. He's like, it's okay, hun, don't worry. I tried to, you know, have him understand that I was 14 in this account, in case he didn't already understand. So I said, tell me a little bit about yourself because I don't know you yet. So he says, I'm 22, green eyes, kind of skinny and tall. So I play along with it. I don't force him to send anything. I don't force him to say anything explicit. So then he goes on to say, what about you, babe? I told him right there, I'm 14 though, just a heads up if that's okay. I have hazel eyes, so they change color. He asked, is that okay with you? And I said, it's okay. I hate trying to date boys my age because they're mature. And I kind of just play along with it, making it seem like I was okay with someone being older. Now you gotta remember in this scenario, no matter what, even if someone underage is saying they're okay with your age as an adult, you are still the grown person, you know better, you're fully aware of their age. It is your job to stop the conversation right there. So then it goes on a little further. This guy just gets weirder and weirder. So he says, how old have you been with? So I made up some ages of like 19 and 25. And then he gets straight off the bat and starts asking a 14-year-old if he is, you know, H-word. So I play along acting like I don't know much about that because honestly anyone who is actually that age knows very little about this kind of stuff. So as you can see here on screen, I just go along with it, just trying to make up some stories in the background. And he's like, so what do you want to do? So I'm like, let's get comfortable with each other and let's, you know, go from there. I'm not telling him to send anything. I've never explicitly said that. And then he goes on to tell me again that he is feeling a certain type of way, which, you know, to tell a 14-year-old girl is pretty weird. So further on from there, I just keep baiting him out. You can see all the messages on screen. You can pause whenever you want. And I start to, you know, gas him up a little bit. I'm like, I'm sure you've had experience. I'm sure you had girlfriends before. And he's like, he never had a girlfriend. Who would have thought? So I start playing along with it some more. And you gotta remember, at this point, he could have, you know, ended the conversation like 20 different times. So then I send him some bait photos of just people who obviously are me because I am a grown dude. And he says, you seem cute. He likes the hair. And I try making up some sob stories to get him, you know, to seem like I'm an actual person of this description. And as the conversation goes on, you can see he's still trying to build up to that point to get some images out of me. And then when he keeps asking, how do you want to have fun? I keep saying, you take the lead, because I'm not going to tell him what to send. I'm not going to, you know, do anything past the limits of what I think is right as someone who's trying to bait someone out. And then when he asks, what did my alleged friend say? I just made up some stuff on the spot saying that you're very nice and whatever. And then again, he asks someone who is literally 8 years younger than him if he wants to see his thing. So I said, I'll let you decide, because as I said, I'm not going to tell him explicitly to send it. I'm going to make sure everything that he sends is his choice. So then going over some technical issues, because apparently my Discord account wouldn't let him send those photos, which was kind of weird. He starts to ask, have I ever seen the male part before? So I say not in person because hopefully no one that age has. That's very weird. And he asks if I've sent anything before, and then he starts saying he wants to just, you know, make himself happy towards that. Like, bro, what are you even doing? Like, you're 22 years old. Like, there's no excuse at this point. You can talk to people your own age. He says he's from South America. I'm sure they have an abundance of women over there that he can talk to. It's not like he's on an island with only men, unless that's that one island, which I'm not gonna say because I'm not trying to get this video already taken down, but you guys know which island I'm talking about. So then he tries to get me to send some stuff, so I made some trauma stuff just so he would understand that I'm not gonna send him anything because, well, yeah, there's no reason to send anything. And like I was considering sending him photos of myself, but I'm a pretty hairy dude, so I'm highly gonna doubt that he's gonna believe that these hairy legs belong to a woman, unless he's into that. Some people are into that. I'm not body shaming. If you like hairy women, all the best for you. But I'm Greek, alright? So you already know for a fact that these legs got some bushes on them. And also I'm pretty skinny too, so it's not like I got anything up there that I can like, squeeze together. So I was kind of out of options, so I just, made up that excuse that I'm traumatized, I can't send anything. So then over the conversation, he keeps trying to ask if I'm feeling H-word or if anything turned me on. And then at one point, he actually does go on to send actual photos and my eyes are burned. He deleted them so I don't have them, but you can see around this point here, I reacted to something. I was just trying to make a, I guess, reaction out of it. And he got happy. He was happy that a 14-year-old girl was apparently happy to see his stuff, which first of all, I don't think any girl of any age likes unsolicited photos, and especially people who are literally still children. But hey, I mean, that's what gets him off. So, and then he starts to ask, things about would you do things to him, or if I'm curious about anything. And I started trying to get his location just to see where he's from, and he goes on to say South America. So I go, oh yeah, my godmother's from Peru, I really want to go to South America. And then he goes on to say Argentina, and I try to get a little bit of conversation about that, and then I try to see his point of view, why he's doing this. I ask him, why don't you go for people your own age? Like obviously people who are full grown women in their 20s will have fully developed bodies, so why don't you go for something like that? Because obviously he doesn't already care about the whole like legal aspect of it. That's not a problem to him, and he kind of just avoided the question. He goes on to say, I've been told to talk to you, which is funny because having a 14-year-old girl tell you to go sext a different alleged 14-year-old girl makes it okay. Like, you're not being forced, there's no gun pointed to your head. And he's like, you seem you don't want to talk to me? Of course, I'm a grown dude, I don't want to be doing this, but here you are talking to who you think is a 14-year-old girl. So then he goes on to make some kind of sob story about his country and whatever. Like, that's not an excuse really. So then from there I kind of get tired of this whole thing, so I tell him that this is a bait account to catch people who are doing this kind of stuff to children. And then he goes on to say, my apologies dear human, have a nice day. And I told him to apologize to the actual child. And like, bro, you actually have the opportunity to go talk to real grown women, go do that, stop talking to children, bro. And then he says my fake name, Lover Girl, so that's that. I told him to leave the server too because I found this guy from that friend that told me his friend got DM'd by him on there. It's a whole conversation, but there's a community thing that has a bunch of younger people in it, and there's a lot of weird grown men like this. I ran into a couple other pedophile busters, and honestly, kids have the right to enjoy a safe environment, bro. Like, there's no reason that they should not be able to be online having fun with actual kids their own age, getting to play video games, getting to learn about life and stuff like that without having these grown men trying to exploit them for their own gross needs. So I'm not going to expose the server yet, but man, I have so many more people on the server that, are doing very weird things. So at some point, maybe I'll expose it. But here we have it, guys. Don't be like Mr. Cursed here. If you are a grown man, talk to grown women. Even if you're in your 30s, at least keep it 18, even though that's weird as fuck. Keep it at the legal age. And if you can't find women on here on Discord, because that's the reason that you're trying to get women, I don't know, go to a bar, go to a club, go on some kind of application. Hell, if you're one of those old creepy dudes, go on like Farmers Only or Christian Mingle or something, because it's not worth throwing your whole life away just for some underage chick, because these kids are gonna have their lives ruined, bro. It ain't worth it. That's gonna wrap up here. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button, and stay tuned because we got so many more of these creepy dudes on here. But once again, hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day and stay safe.